You need to know what's coming if you hold crypto. The Bitcoin halving is in less than 250 days. Pantera Capital is predicting Bitcoin could reach 148,000 by the summer of 2025 because of it. This will be big for crypto. Subscribe to the channel. I promise to keep you informed. This prediction is based on the halving cycles that happen every 4 years for Bitcoin. The halving is an event that reduces the amount of Bitcoin miners can get. This usually creates scarcity in the market and has a positive impact on price. According to Pantera, we've just gone through the longest drought in the history of Bitcoin. They believe recent developments like the XRP ruling and BlackRock endorsing Bitcoin will set the stage for a massive rally. In addition, the math is on our side. In 2016, the halving decreased the supply of new Bitcoins by a third, giving us a third of an increase in price. In 2020, supply was reduced by 47%, giving us a 27% move to the upside. If history repeats, we could be looking at a $35,000 Bitcoin prior to the halving, and then 148,000 by the end of the cycle. Galaxy Research is also confirming this. Looking at price activity around the last 3 halvings, you see slight pullback before we start that major rally. It would also explain why Oman has invested $1 billion in Bitcoin mining. I expect many more countries to make similar announcements. Industry experts are saying the halving is going to bring in major institutional interest. Michael Saylor will probably end up buying at least 1 million more.
Everyone's heard of the space race, where a bunch of countries got together and they all tried to get to space first. But now what we're going to see is the great accumulation race. And what I mean by that is we have institutions and individuals all scrambling to try to get their share of the 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be in existence. The retail investor for 15 years now has had a head start, and they've accumulated all the Bitcoin that has been actually mined and put into circulation. But 68% of all of that Bitcoin in circulation hasn't moved in over a year. And so what that means is when Wall Street, people like BlackRock and other organizations that have now filed for these ETFs or other products, show up to the market and they want to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a highly illiquid asset, and these Bitcoiners don't want to sell to Wall Street. And so the only thing that can move when you have a fixed supply asset that's highly illiquid and there's a bunch of demand that comes into the market is the price has to go up. How long that takes is anyone's guess, but I think that's the big story here, is the great accumulation race is underway.
Since mid-August, whales have been accumulating Bitcoin in droves, in addition to the $2 billion that has already been banked away since BlackRock's ETF filing. I feel Bitcoin is also going to be the topic of discussion now that we are in election season. It always brings in more interest. And again, when Bitcoin does well, so does the rest of the market. So you need to keep an eye out for altcoins. Solana and Shopify have teamed up. Shopify will now support cross-border payments and NFT transactions on Solana Pay in USDC. Solana Pay was launched last year as a payment channel for Solana. By the end of this year, millions of entrepreneurs and merchants will have access to no-fee Web3 payments. They also have plans to add Solana and meme token Bonk as a payment method as well. The integration will also be available for users of Solana's mobile phone, the Saga. Keep in mind, Shopify is a giant, accounting for more than 10% of all e-commerce transactions worldwide. This integration could go a long way for Solana down the road. Sticking with USDC, after receiving a major investment from Coinbase, USDC has decided to expand to 6 new chains: Optimism, Polygon, Polkadot, Near Protocol, Cosmos, and Coinbase's Layer 2 will now support USDC. This is important. I expect USDC payment services to come to these chains now. Can you imagine Polkadot payments? Very interesting. Another major expansion you should keep an eye on is BRICS. Starting in 2024, the number of BRICS countries will increase to 11. Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Argentina, and the UAE have all been invited. At this year's summit, a new currency wasn't discussed explicitly, but a single shared network was. BRICS nations are in agreement they now have a way to bypass the US dollar, and I think they're using a blockchain they've been developing since 2017.
Let's look at the development of blockchain cryptocurrency technology in China. On Friday, Chinese President Xi Jinping stressed the role of the cyber technology in quickening economic development and innovation. He said it's essential to promote related research and core technologies to give China an edge in the sector. Xi believes blockchain can play a key part in the real economy as it helps address financing difficulties and financial risks. He also proposed fostering new models in the digital economy via blockchain to boost growth. Touching on people's welfare in particular, Xi sees its potential in boosting areas such as education, senior care, and food safety.
We discussed the international payment system in some detail. From an African point of view, a highlight of this conversation was the discussion of the Pan-African payment system, which has immense potential to stimulate trade and growth by increasing the spend and certainty and reducing the costs of cross-border payments in Africa. Participants also debated the question of whether a BRICS currency is possible or even desirable, with strong views expressed both for and against, with little consensus being reached. Seen from a banker's perspective, the debate would probably progress more fruitfully if the discourse maintained a sharper conceptual distinction between international payments on the one hand and reserve currencies on the other. For example, and as the example of the PAPS illustrates, under certain circumstances, it may be possible to simplify international trade and the attendant payments using a collection of domestic currencies without any reference to any international reserve currency.
As the 5 BRICS countries, we have reached agreement on the guiding principles, standards, criteria, and procedures of the BRICS expansion process, which has been in discussion for quite a while. We have consensus on the first phase of this expansion process, and other phases will follow. We have decided to invite the Argentine Republic, the Arab Republic of Egypt, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to become full members of BRICS. The membership will take effect from the 1st of January 2024.
Things are happening quickly in crypto. Be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay informed. Watch this video here to find out more about that BRICS blockchain. As always, I'm Wade Teamer. See you in the next one.